What's up, guys? Hades here. I have an absolute crazy match for you to see. It was Buns versus SF. Obviously, I'm on SF right now. This was a banger. It felt like a finals. It was really good. Buns is an S tier team, and I want to talk about all the mistakes both sides made. And there's going to be some juicy details on this one. I'm telling you right now, I will not be posting this until after the finals, just for competitive integrity, because I will be revealing so many little details that so many people are not doing, and it's quite frustrating to see all the errors from both sides. Even though this is the top of the game, there is so much to be learned. Even off the bat here, there is a mistake here. You need to be next to your teammates. Okay, this gap is 1 extra second for all of these players above you to join, either for garrison or rallies, and seconds matter. Even for us, this huge gap here, this was an error. Someone was supposed to be here, and they just didn't go where they're supposed to. And these big errors, this gap, this double space, and this missing person just shows how sloppy the middle was off the bat. We have error here. This person's off. Very good relocations here. So not as sloppy there. And then we have quite clean relocations here in the top, except for this error. So there's a step here. Both teams have one step. And I believe this to be an error due to the fact that if we skip forward, it does not pan out for this Buns player. They're going to be just a bit late. Oops, there it is. And I will go ×4, and I will pause as I see. This will be both informational, educational, and like a shoutcaster. A little bit of a hybrid. Everyone relocates pretty much on time here with the one block. Same on the bottom. A little bit late here, and it got defended. So again, sloppy. Having an exposed player get denied. And again, the middle with that blocked relocation here, and having just an error, because this player went up one and they were supposed to be down one. So just a straight error. Both players that erred are now going here, and I'm going to pause the match. This is quite sad to have 1, 2, 3, 4 players stuck in base. And then again, 1, 2, 3 players stuck in base. This is just either aggressive reloading or poor reloading, or a little bit of combination of both. But you know, it happens. You do want to go fast to your spot, but you don't want to step on spots, right? And there's not enough markers to mark all 30 players because it game caps you at 20. This is a big mistake already. You should not be bubbling in the first 5 minutes. That is a waste of your points. Even though they're being focused, this is a waste. You don't have enough points to match this time. Now this player is going to not have enough points to reborn when it's important. We can see the relocations coming in. The second ones with the blocks, those are good. And there's the back step. I don't like this back step. When you get low, you don't want to be still in the line of fire. This is still in the line of fire. This player should have gone probably here, or maybe up here, away from these players who are comfortable targeting them, and into a position where people were not comfortable targeting them, and build up enough points to then have reborn. So already very sloppy in the middle, poor relocations, missing player, poor use of skills. Let's keep going. We can see it's a 6, 7 versus, what was this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's down 2 players here, which is very tough. I don't like this reload. This reload right in front. You're just asking to get blocked. Only one person can realistically stop it, and there's 2 people who are going to focus fire it. And of course it gets broken. Very aggressive. It probably should have been on the side. It was from this player here, or maybe on this side if they wanted to move up. Or even just holding it to block a reload in the back, right? Again, another error here. This player is too low and then is finally moving back, but only moves back 1 square. They need to move back into a safer area where they waste more time from the opponent, or use their final relocation to block someone, right? Moving back 1 square isn't going to save them, and they die anyways. Big error from the SF player. We can see low and low. Once you get down to about, it depends on the situation, but past the halfway point, you have to start considering what's most important. Do I stay in my position? Do I move back? Another player ported. That player should have moved back. Very sloppy down here on this bottom side. Looks like we're getting an all-in from the Buns players. It's going quick. It's going quick. And it's a capture. Buns hard out playing SF on this bottom side. But if we look on the top, it's already clear. This was an absolute slaughter. I was up here. We played very well. We had the numbers advantage due to the fail, and we cleaned them up very quickly. And you can see all the relocations rotating. Looking to the middle, now that we're in a balanced game state, we have Tower 4 and Tower 2 belong to Buns, and of course Tower 3 and Tower 1 belong to SF, and now it's down to the middle. Buns had a very clean all-in, and they captured it pretty much first try. They kind of caught us sleeping, and it was just sloppy. There was no excuse to let them have it. It's pretty much impossible to take the middle for free the way that they took it, unless you're falling asleep at the wheel, really, and we totally did. We fell asleep at the wheel. We gave them middle for no reason, even though I would consider this an advantageous position. We have more players touching the tower. We have multiple SF players behind enemy lines, and they only have 3 people adjacent to the tower, right? And then 1 dies, and 1's low. And the fact that they're able to keep this middle for so long is kind of unbelievable. I definitely had some strong choice words, and a lot of yelling happened during this point of the match. You can see we're trying to retake it here. I believe the game is a little bugged here. Oh, there we go. Now it's going. Lots of relocations moving forward. PK has moved up. Sunflower's up. And now we have this huge position. This is the all-in call. You can see 4, 5, 6, 7 players, kind of 8 are adjacent to the tower, and only 2 Buns players. This should be ours every day of the week, and I believe we retake it here on this go. A little sloppy. This number should be much lower if the supports are proper, and just kidding, we don't take it first go. Buns was really, really good at smacking towers and pumping everything they had into it. However, at the price for doing that, they have players absolutely getting pounded in the front. They're getting ported. Now they only have 1 next to it. Players getting moved forward. All-in calls still on, and it is now SF. And SF has now taken the point lead in terms of points per second. We dropped 7-ish thousand, give or take, and it'll move quite quickly now. So now the goal is to hold 3 until the end of the game, which against a good opponent is never going to happen. There's always going to be some sort of a rotation happening, right? This is now completely SF. Buns' position has completely collapsed. They have a bunch of people in base, and they make a play for the top. Big teleports coming in. Weak here. Huge mistake. We did not leave enough players here. It was very sloppy, and probably the title of this video is going to be a sloppy high-level match. When I say sloppy, of course, it's not that sloppy. It's just some relatively large errors happened. This relocation from this SF player was very bad. There's no way they're going to stop these 3 players from breaking it with only 1 teammate. It should have been probably here. I don't love this reload, but... or maybe here where there's only 1 player touching. That's me. I probably could have defended it. I believe I teleported in. I teleported in low. It was the only option. I get ported from a rally. And Buns is going to take this back relatively quickly. We start to try and manage to hold it off. There's a player here, player off to the side. But now we put ourselves at a disadvantage by not guarding this tower well, right? And now we're off in the fringes and we're not in a great position. And now we have to play catch up. I don't like this relocation. This is a sloppy relocation. Next to a Buns player, next to a Buns player. This is almost always going to get canceled. This needs to be next to a teammate. Next to a teammate. Here's a good position. Even in front is decent, but not in front of two enemies. Now, of course, one does get ported, and this relocation doesn't look as bad, but I think it got blocked, and that's a replay bug. And they own it, of course, and they're up 3-2, but we're only losing 5 points per second. So the math says if we can take this back in the next 10 minutes or so, we will be able to win on points, as the points are very close at this point. We're only down 2,000, and we're only losing 5 per second, and there's still half the match to play. And we go ahead and we start to gather in this area. We still own middle. It is dominating. There's only 5 left to defend, and a lot of these players are able to exit and rotate into the top and reinforce this position. But all the Buns players who die are now capable of moving from their home into a defensive position. And if they're able to hold Tower 1 for the duration of the game, they're of course going to win. They have a 6-man defense at the bottom, and they have a 5-man defense at their home. There was a small effort here. This was a wasted effort. If you're not going to take it or take a serious effort on it, it's pretty much always not worth it. So pretty much the rest of the match is going to fall down to Tower 1, and then there will be a play at Central Tower at the very, very end, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. Players near each other. We finally found a nice position. We're trying to move up. Aggressive relocation by PK gets denied. Flanks everywhere. Players off to the side. I don't like these kind of solo plays when they're by themselves and just getting rallied and soloed on repeat. Now there's a defending a player to help defend. Really slow to clear these players off to the side. This player's been here for a very long time. And now they get into a more defensive stance next to turret. You really want to be near the turret, or excuse me, tower. If you are touching the tower, you're blocking and defending the tower, and it makes it so much harder for the opponents to get to the tower. You can see we start to push up towards the tower, and these Buns players off to the side have not made their relocations in their secondary relocation into important spots, which are near tower. They allowed the front side of this tower to be occupied by SF, and the Buns players are getting low now. Players near the towers are very exposed. All 3 of them are very low on HP, and we're starting to make a push. And we have players behind. We have players off to the side being very big distractions. A few of them have been cleaned up, but they are great distractions as they were so much busy fighting here. They were unable to fight up in the front. Very good job getting up in front. But of course, it's not the wisest decision to have a low HP player defending the front. You really want to have one of these players in the back with full HP to be up in the front position defending, because they can stall and deny much, much longer. As you can see, these players are doing more stalling tactics, trying to get the delay with the cost of their life. And with 18 minutes left, we have just enough time to capture this turret and bring our points into a positive. We're still down 6,000, but if we can capture point 1, we'll be at a 15-point advantage per second, which will easily give us the lead. We know this. I have called for it in the chat. We finally hit a position where we feel we're comfortable enough to go for an all-in, and we get denied again. This is very good on Buns to deny the all-in. It is unbelievably important that they stop this over and over. But as you can see, Fictions went into the front and got ported because he was low. It really needed to be a higher HP player, and I would say that was a pretty large mistake, not having players like Akari and players in the back moving forward. It's hard in the moment to get those prime spots from high HP players, and a lot of the aggressive players end up losing HP quickly and unable to defend those positions. And we finally get that all in. It took a few tries, but we do get it, as we have built a position in the side flank as well as the front, which makes it very difficult to defend. And we now have the left flank of this tower, and this tower is going to be ours. We now have overwhelming numbers, and this is going to fall rather quickly in the next following minutes. And I'm going to jump forward just a bit into the mid play, because their only chance is now to make a last minute 10-minute play. Boom, there's a teleport. We are so sloppy. A player from middle left the middle, defending the only thing that mattered. Relocations are coming in invisibly from here and here. The Sun and Moon Altar is best used towards the end of the game. Teleports have come in. The fight is hectic. And if they can get this within the first 2 or 3 minutes here, they will have enough points to deny the game, as it is completely neutral. We're only up 1,000. If they get this within the next 3 minutes, they will win. And this has been called out, to not let anyone get into the middle and make a play. They really needed to rotate out of the top much faster to make this mid play, which could have been successful and would have won them the game. However, the time is ticking down, and they only have 6 minutes to regain a 2,000 lead, and the pressure is ticking, and they're all inning constantly. They have players around the flank. It is a really, really well coordinated attack for such little time. They have 5+ players on the left side. They have multiple players in front with teleports who are being very annoying. Very solid players here. But it's just deny, and we know if we keep clearing tower that the game is over, and we have plenty of players and they're all full HP, and they're able to just deny for the final few minutes, and we very, very narrowly pull out a win. Don't get me wrong, even though the title of this video is slop and just chaos everywhere, this is still very high level players at the top of the game. And the meta evolves each season, and the players get better and better. And that's going to wrap up this video. If you guys like me kind of half shot calling, half teaching and coaching, letting you know my opinions on what players should do and where I see mistakes so that you don't make them in the future, let me know in the comments below, and I will keep up the IB content and try and keep all of the best things for last. Good luck to everyone in the last round of IB League, and I hope we have an amazing season 5, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.